Hi, welcome to the MyFestus.com Conversation Show, an encouraging, entertaining, and educational podcast for those who live, work, and play in the Festus, Missouri, and Jefferson County area, and for those who value communication, connection, and community wherever you live. Hi, I'm Sara, your host, a Wisconsin girl who is learning all about living in Missouri. Join me as I share fun conversations with local people and share my own reflections on navigating so many transitions. Thank you for making listening an itty-bitty habit to create a big impact in your life. Enjoy.
Control.
Grease is one of my favorite movies. Will you let us know when we're live, and we are going to go live with this. Are we recording?
Oh, great.
Welcome, everyone, to MyFestus.com Conversations. I am honored by Sandy from Greece today. We have Nicole Tucker Ingram in the podcast studio with us today, and we were just singing a little bit of Grease.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself in a tune?
In a tune?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, you're putting me on the spot. I have no idea.
Because we were just talking about skills. We've got skills, we're multiplying, and I'm losing control. That's how we started
We've
talking
got
about
skills, they're multiplying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to sing.
But you do have a lot of skills, and you do know how to multiply your skills. And I brought you on today because you have so many skills. One of my favorite skills that you have is the ability to connect with people and to create community, which is what I am all about on myfestus.com. And I want to hear how you have been able to connect people and create a community through the power of voice. What is that? And talk about voice and what that means to you.
I feel like women in general haven't had a strong voice. As we've had to fight for a lot of things, and there have been key people throughout life that have gotten the grease. They're the squeaky wheel. Mm-hmm. They've gotten the grease, and they've helped promote others around them in the community.
Sure.
Help promote their friends, their family, and then so forth and so on. And there's also celebrities out there that help really promote. Everybody has a voice to promote, to help others, to empower others. And I kind of started finding that voice maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, really.
And when you say voice, your own voice is what you're referring to. Okay.
Yes.
Like, walk us through a little bit of that 3 or 4 years ago. Where were you at in terms of kind of your headspace, and how did you discover, wait, I got something to say, or I need to show up in a different way for a voice to come out?
For many years, in the corporate-ish world, I started noticing several years ago that I was being passed up for promotions. I wasn't getting the raises that I probably should have been getting. I've always been a hard worker. I've always loved working, helping others, all those things. And then I started noticing that other people around me, other ladies around me, also were not getting promoted and not having a voice in what they needed or wanted for their lives.
Regardless, for the same amount of output of work,
education,
they were not being compensated or recognized or validated in a way that you felt was fair, and perhaps you were maybe putting a pattern on that because of gender?
Yes. And just gender in neutral terms. Now, I'm not going to refer to all this as gender bias because we also have part in that.
Our own advocacy of it. Gotcha.
And and where we have faltered as women, not having a voice and not speaking up for ourselves, not speaking up for those raises, not speaking up for the promotions, not believing in ourselves to even be able to speak up and to be able to say, hey, I deserve this. So many times we push our voice back. We suppress that voice. I did it for gobs and gobs of years through everything from personal life in my marriage to having some trauma as a child. I had abuse and trauma as a child that was very hard. I had
And you
no
learned
voice.
to cope by being quiet. You learned to
Yes.
cope by hiding or, you know, not speaking up to maybe create waves or whatever. So you learn that that has been a helpful part in your life, probably to not have a voice. And at some point you realized we're done with that part, or that part's not serving us anymore to be quiet or to hide or to be, you know, in the dark.
Right.
And you decided a few years ago you wanted to have a little bit more light in your life by having a voice.
First of all, I had to take off my mask because I had a plastic mask on where I was, the happy Nicole all the time, everywhere I went. I was the go-getter. I was the do it for everyone. I was the people pleaser. I was all these things. I was superwoman. I was super mom. I mean, if I could do it, I would do it in a heartbeat, and I do it for everybody.
Yeah.
And I was burning myself out.
Yes.
Because I was trying to overcompensate for the fact that I was so suppressed. So what I ended up doing is saying, hey, you know what? I need to step up and be the real person.
Yes.
How do I need to be the real person? Who am I?
Yeah, I was going to say, what is the
Who
real
am I?
Nicole? Right.
I had no clue. But what I did know is that I'm not the only person. I am not the only woman that feels this way. So many of my friends, when I finally started stepping up and saying, I'm changing the course of my life, I am going to utilize my skills that I have. I'm going to encourage and help others to have a voice and to help them and train them and give them any input, connect them with people in my network. All of those things matter. And I wanted to help others because I was able to find my voice.
Yes.
And I had mentors also.
Yeah.
And they helped me along in my life. One in particular I can think of is Karen, my former branch manager at Midland States Bank, where I had worked. And she was such a huge advocate for me to really step up and own who I was and own who I am in that moment. We're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all deal with things differently. We learn differently. We love differently. We perceive love differently. And for me, it was about finding truly who I am and learning about myself and being able to step up and be like, you know what? I'm not going to stand for this anymore.
Right.
My level is here right now, but I'm going to be up here and I'm going to be up here and I'm going to keep going. And every day I'm going to try to help myself get better. And that's also adding people into my network, adding tools into my life, and all of that. That's how I've come to be the person I am today.
That's amazing. So if someone is at any of those phases, whether they're a man or a woman, it sounds like you've really identified with a lot of women that are trying to perhaps get out of a dark place or just learn who they are in and of themselves. Do you have any things that worked for you that helped people figure out who they are? Because this identity piece is a big thing. Because I think before we actually have something to say, sometimes we need to know, like you said, who we are. So how do people kind of find out who they are?
I think you need to step back and evaluate how you do things, how you handle things, the inner circle in your life.
The people you surround yourself with.
Do you have a support system?
Yes.
What does that look like? Not everybody has a support system. Not everybody has the ability to do this.
Yes.
But we all have tidbits and moments throughout our day to be able to sit back, breathe a second, take that pressure off of you and go, you know what am I good at?
Yeah.
What do I love doing? What's my passion?
Yes.
What can I help in society with? What focus can I go on? And what is my journey?
Yeah.
And truly, when you love your life and love your journey and love helping others, for instance, which is me, then I'm happy.
And do you feel, as long as, and I always talk about energy, right? Like, what is it that like lights you up? What is it that energizes you? So if people can try to really kind of take their temperature throughout the day of
Mhm.
what is it that they're doing, who are they around, what are they listening to, what are things that light them up. Would you say that helps to try to
Yes.
identify who they are?
Yes.
And maybe whether they're down here and they want to be up here, you're seeing other people that are, you know, maybe in a place that they have a voice and they are going places and they're doing things and you want to elevate. You can see maybe what they're doing, what lights them up, and maybe that, right? That helps
Absolutely.
to elevate a little bit.
And you can have a one-on-one, have a coffee with them. A one-on-one is just a coffee. A one-on-one is just a sit down like we're doing.
Yeah.
Literally getting to know someone.
Yeah.
It's not about selling yourself or selling anything to anybody else.
That's right.
It's literally about getting to know people, building a relationship. Because that's where I started. Building a relationship was the very first thing I started doing. Like,
Yes.
I saw people in the community I wanted to get to know. I was like, you know what? I really like that person.
Same.
I love how she does XYZ. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick her brain.
And honestly, for those who are listening or watching in, that's how Nicole and I got connected. Because
So true.
we were strangers. I was new to this area. I was new to this community. I saw you were doing great things. Somehow, I don't know who contacted who, but we sat down and we had a coffee. And then we had another coffee.
And we've had another
I
coffee.
think we had 3 coffees. But all we did was get to know each other
We like
and
coffee.
get to know who each other are outside of kind of our profession, right? And it's helpful on so many different levels to be around other people who really understand you and see you, especially if you are a transplant and you're new to an area, whether you're new to the Festus community area, you're new wherever you're tuning in. People like to get to know other people, right? And it's not as scary as we all think to get to know a stranger because we're all in it, right? We're all living this human life.
We
We're
are.
all trying to figure out kind of who we are and what energizes and lights us up. And when we can meet other people that make us feel really good and empower us, man, that nourishes us, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
And, you know, we all are not experts in everything we're doing. We can't be an expert in everything. But there are other people that have strengths that I don't possess that I could ask you for help with. Or, hey, this is a different point of view. Or, hey, how do you see me? I've asked many of my friends, what is your view take? You know, what's your view of
good
me?
to ask people
You know,
about that.
What do you think I'm good at?
Huh.
Because I was so lost in a dead-end, loveless, touchless marriage. I was so lost in a just kind of dead career at that point.
Sure.
And I was trying to find my voice from past traumas.
So, like, you literally were in a point where nothing was energizing you, right? Where we talk about what
My
do you
kids
have?
were.
Right,
But
right.
other than my immediate family,
Sure.
nothing
So
was energizing.
when you were able to sit with people and ask them to give you a little bit of an opinion about you, did that help you find an identity
Absolutely.
within just to hear their perspective of you?
I found the good and the bad.
Sure. I suppose. Take that.
I asked ahead of time, hey, break it down for me. You know, what is it that I can improve on? And anybody can do a SWOT analysis, which I love SWOT analysis. I know I'm a geek.
Can you tell people what a SWOT analysis is?
It's a marketing term,
Okay.
technically, but it's a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Gotcha.
So a SWOT analysis for me, I mainly focus on the SWO. So I'm doing a SWO analysis more or less. But a SWOT analysis for me is, what are my strengths? What are my, opportunities? What are my weaknesses? And capitalize in those areas. To view yourself in a different light. And it's okay if it's not all positive.
Sure.
I don't want it to be all positive. You grow.
Yeah.
You get outside of your box
Sure.
by growing. And the way that you do that is by asking others' opinions. Sometimes we're not self-aware.
Sure.
And it's okay. But then I started changing the way I approach people, the way I spoke to people, my tone of voice even. And it's not changing me to who I'm not as a person, but it's changing me for the better to understand and become more self-aware and learn from other people.
Sure. So you have incorporated what other people's maybe perspectives are with your perspective of who you are, kind of your identity, really defined your voice.
Yes.
And where we are now.
did find my voice.
So we have a lot to learn from Nicole Tucker Ingram on how you help other people find your voice and how you found your voice, because we're all on this journey together, trying to learn about who we are, what our identity is, and finding your voice. You have a ton of skills, as we talked about, that are multiplying, and you have a ton of different ways that you work with people and empower and help inspire people. If people want to get more of Nicole, learn more about your journey, learn more about maybe how they can find their own voice, tell us, how can we get more of you? How can we get more of Nicole in our life? Because I need more of Nicole in my life. Well, and how can people kind of learn more about finding their own voice?
I would love to help anyone and everybody. I sit down with everyone that I possibly can. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. I love everyone. And again, this is not a gender bias issue. It's a we need to advocate for ourselves issue.
Okay.
So I am available via email at nicole@empowerbusinesssolutions.net. And I'm also available at phone number. I'm also available on Facebook. All of my website is Empower Business Solutions.
And we'll link Nicole's
all of those
stories.
But I'm also available just to sit down and have a one-on-one, talk through some feelings. Sometimes we need counseling. Sometimes we need tools added to our tool belt. What do those tools look like?
Sure.
I'm a part of Little Black Book Women in Business, which is an empowerment group for personal and business development, mainly for business, but we also develop personally as well.
Fantastic. Yes.
Which you know.
I do know. I am an actual member. Thank you for being on that lead team to bring this to our Festus community.
I appreciate you letting me plug it, because we need those tools. We need each other.
Yes.
That's that whole connection piece.
Yes.
We need each other to either lift each other up, to be accountable, to be a connector. I'm a huge connector for other people, just like you are with myfestus.com.
Thank you.
That was exactly what you were needing, is that connection piece to the community. And that's how you made that come to fruition. Just like with LBB, that women in business, women empowerment. If you own your own business or just in business in general, doesn't matter. If you have your little, side business, home business, doesn't matter. We all support each other.
That's amazing. So within that community, within the community you've created with your personal friends and family, and within the greater community, we talk about that word. I would love to end with, what does community mean to Nicole?
Oh my gosh. Community means bonding together to be better for ourselves so we can be better for our community.
Ooh, that's good.
Just coming together, because we have to focus on ourselves to help ourselves, like that airline mask situation, Save
yourself before you can save your baby. Yes. Yes.
Well, you got to save yourself before you can save your community.
Yes.
And grow that community. And we all should be advocating for ourselves, but we should all be advocating for our community, because if that is successful, we grow as a community.
Yes.
So that is the bottom line, is coming together, helping ourselves to help each other.
Love it.
And having a voice.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored that you brought your voice here and brought your voice to everyone else who is listening and watching. And thank you for joining us, Nicole. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to this myfestus.com conversation. I hope that you have found some itty-bitty inspiring takeaways to make a big impact in your life. To create an even bigger impact in your life, check out my website, myfestus.com, to explore all the positive people and places you can experience around here, as well as learn about encouraging ways to navigate your own life transitions, no matter where you live. I also send out fun, encouraging emails so you can learn about all the new things and score a must-have deal of the week to save you some money as you support our local businesses. Just click on the subscribe button on the myfestus.com website to sign up. Thank you for making listening an itty-bitty habit to create a big impact in your life.